Hi guys, welcome back on my channel. Dorota Nail, international nail artist and educator here. And today I have prepared a beautiful spring nail art for you. Have a preview of it in here. I love the designs of this time of the year and I hope you really love it too. If you do, let me know in the comments below as I'm looking forward to reading them all. So let's start. Again, something which everyone needs to know how to do it is an ombre. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing it. I'm using the forms to remove any excess of the fluff from my sponges, and the sponges comes like in a bigger pieces. I'm always using a smaller one just to make my life easier. So let's cut this one, maybe not even easier, but also to make the sponge last really a long time. Okay, so I have cut it a fresh piece. I'm not going to use the slidey side because that wouldn't give you a nice result. You need to use ideally a fresh piece because it has less fluffy bits and pieces. And then you can see it, we always get some either dirt or dust particles on the sponge. So I'm keeping my sponge in here, and now let's start preparing those ombres. So clean my tips. And what we are going to do it, so I have created here in some different colors, and now I will try a different one. So I'm going to use the 238, and we are going to place it on the bottom. And then with this color, a purple one will do. So a purple one. I don't put too much purple because it's quite pigmented. And then the blue one, 237. So the blue one, let's paint it nicer. From the top and from the top. Now, when I'm doing this design on the clients, guys, you will be probably asking me, like I have showed in some videos how I'm doing it actually on the client. And I will try to explain it here on the client as well. So remove any excess from the sponge. You don't want any bits and pieces in there. And what you have to do it is, so first of all, you cannot touch the sponge at this angle because, so I will place my finger here. So you don't want to be touching with your sponge like this because this part of the sponge will have a color. Let me grab the, yeah.
The colors, yeah.
So let me grab the colors first. Okay, so I've got colors on my sponge. Now, let's color it fully in. There we are. I've got colors on my sponge. And if I go like this, I will touch my skin. So what you want to do it is when you're going to the corner, you hold your sponge like that. So this is clear. Can you see it? There is no product, so we are not going to touch client's nail folds. The sponge starts like this, and then you place it there. So you can color in the edges of the nail without touching the client's skin, okay? So this nail is extremely actually large, which will make my job more difficult. So I need to place the sponge at the angle as well to blend the top first. And then once I've got the top blended, so my motion is I'm tabbing, but also I'm going like that as well. So the top is done, okay? And then I'm going to do it bottom. Again, my sponge is lifted because I've got blue at there, and I don't want to touch with that blue. So I'm doing lots of motion like this to create those beautiful ombre. Okay, I'm happy with the first one. It's not as highly pigmented, and if you're working especially with the gel polishes which aren't really pigmented, what you would do it is you would sprinkle it with the acrylic. So you just sprinkle it with the acrylic powder. It's a clear acrylic powder. Tap it to remove the excess, and then you cure it. Okay, let's go into the next one. So another thing with the second tip is that my life is going to be much easier because the sponge is already absorbed the product. I did cut the sponge a little bit too short. Ideally, I should make it at the size of the nail. But for a salon, this is a nice size. These tips are really long. So from the top, again, here at the edge, your sponge goes at this angle, so you don't touch a client's skin at this angle. And then once you do sort out the corners, okay, I'm really imagining I'm working on the client. So this is how I would work on the client. And then you start blending it again. Okay, so we are going to blend it. Now, if I would just do it like this, look what I'm doing. I'm creating lots of air bubbles, and you guys ask me a lot about that as well, like there are some air bubbles and you can see the texture. So I'm also at the same time massaging it gently. Can you see it, how I have smoothed the air bubbles in this place? Okay, let's do it again. So I've got air bubbles in here, and they happen because I have been tapping too much, and now I have just smoothed them out. Okay, so the motion goes to the top, to the bottom, and also to the sides. This way you get the nicer blending. Do the bottom one again. Now I'm smoothing the air bubbles with this motion, and we've got another tip with the ombre. The transition isn't blended like perfectly yet, but we still got a second round to make it more pigmented. So this would work even for a pastel colors. I have picked up actually neon colors, and neon colors are usually pretty good for doing ombre. I don't need acrylic powder anymore. Even a one layer make a huge difference, guys. Like, let me just grab it away. Remove the excess of the powder. And then we are going to put a round 2. So with the round 2, when you're doing it on the client, you can paint it nicely on the top. Then the purple one. Just a little bit of it. I don't need a lot. It's like such a highly pigmented color. And then grab. I also like to use the tweezers so I don't play with my fingers around the gel polishes. So blend the top, because again I don't want it, but look how much pigment is staying in here now. When I'm actually, I should be at this angle to you guys. Okay, so keep blending it in. And now I want to make the ombre much nicer. So I'm also going to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom, to the top. And we do really start getting absolutely beautiful transition. I really love this one. And there is no easiest way to do the ombre, guys. Okay. Oh gosh, what a difference. So let's try it now, because my sponge has absorbed some product, and sometimes I use this technique in the salon as well, because this is not bad. I can use the product which I already got on my sponge to press it down and do the ombre that way. Okay, it will give me slightly different results, but look at this. It is also working the way that we are just using the product which we already got on the sponge. And we've got another beautiful one. Yeah, I'm happy with this one, so let's cook it, and then we can move on into the next part. So our next part is to apply the top coat over the entire tip. I've got my top coat here. No, that's the empty one. Yeah. Let's put it on the side, and I'm going to use this one. So the first one is ready. Put the top coat over it. Actually, maybe we could do it in matte. Yes, let's do it in matte. Shiny will be nice as well, but I will want to do it in matte. So matte top coat. I'm terrible sometimes, guys. No, cameraman is here. I've got it. I've got it. I have it. So matte top. Matte top coat usually make the colors look lighter. And then we are going to cook it. And then do the same on this tip. Also, top coat smooths out any imperfections which you could create it, but like the longer you use the sponge, I might actually show you on the old sponge as well. So the longer, when my tip is cooking, I can tell you that's theory maybe, if I have older sponge, let me check. So if the sponge is old or you leave it without of product too much on there, you can kind of tear it apart and then it leaves lots of fluff. Remember that. So you don't want to stick it in too strong in there. And then I should have another sponge in here, and I have teared it apart as well because it was left on the form for too long, like it was pressed too hard, and you can see it. I've got bits and pieces of the sponge coming apart. Okay, so this sponge, you can see it is not attached to the form. While this one, if you leave it like this really strong, you might tear the sponge, so that will make your work really messy as well. Keep that in mind. So the sponge goes on very gently, almost not touching the form. You can even see there is some empty space in there. Okay, and it's also hiding from any dust which might go on it as well. Okay, we are going to move on into the next thing, and we will paint extremely simple flowers. So again, the same colors kind of range which we have used before. I'm going to place it there. And now, a very important thing to mention to you guys is we cannot do the gel polish without of top coat. But if I use the French gel, which is a gel which can be used for a 3D work, it is safer to do so. And then on top of it, we are going to sugar it as well. So I'm just going to grab those beautiful colors in here, and then let's paint a couple of the very simple flowers, to be honest. So on the bottom in here, since I've got yellow, so what will go with yellow? With yellow, we can do, let me mix them actually quickly first. So with yellow, we can go pink. And what I'm gonna do is do the middle of the flower. And then I could search for a larger dotting tool if I have it. I do have one size larger, so it will be comfier. So just pick it up, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's so cute already. 1, 2, 3, 4. The other one is invisible. Usually I'm starting with this middle point because it's much easier. So let's do here. So here I will do it more on the bottom. That's enough. Let's decorate the other ones. So it's quite simple design. And I'm using pink first because I don't want to be mixing another colors yet. Okay, so we've got the pink flowers. Clean my dotting tool. And then the next step we are gonna do, let me grab some sugaring, not yet, but I need it. Pick up again white, and then we will mix it with this beautiful orange one. Oh wow, so pretty. And again we are going to add more flowers in. So you don't need extreme skills to be able to even complete that design. This one is nice. I cannot use the orange one on this one because it will kind of disappear. I could possibly actually do it maybe in here. No, no, don't do orange one. Let's go to the purple one. So again, drop of white. Mix it. Clean the brush, the dotting tool. And then do the purple ones. Okay, we've got the purple one and a purple one in here. Quite like this one, like this. So make them all kind of random and different. And then here we could do yellow one as well. So I'm mixing my yellow. Ah, that's so nice color actually. Really nice. Yeah, it looks so pretty. So here I'm going to place it on the opposite side. And then we are going to add a drop of the green. I've got so many gel polishes now. So drop of the green, white, mix it. Change the brush. So now we are going to use the watercolor brush. And just paint some small leaves. Don't place them everywhere, just somewhere. Got some fluff in there, I will remove it with the brush. Basically, to paint those leaves, I'm just pressing harder and then lighter. You don't have to do the leaves, like the flowers looks really pretty on its own. I just wanted to show you another option, so I'm adding them just in some places. Fantastic. Okay, let's smudge our flowers. So what we are gonna do now is clean either a watercolor brush or a D-liner brush. Make it into a nice point. And then let's start dragging those flowers, okay, just so they are not as rounded. So what I'm doing is I'm just pulling the product, which I've got in here, like this. To kind of make the petals of the flowers different shape. Here we've got an ombre flower. Clean the brush or just do them all. So if I would be doing it on the client, I would be just doing all pink first. You could see it, I did roll at my brush because it, oh gosh, hands. Hands, Dorota, behave. Make your hands to behave. Let me put that away, we don't need it anymore. This one is done. I had those wee fluff in there. Any more pinks ones? Yes, here. When you're pulling those flowers, like make them pull into the one direction. Clean the brush, do the orange ones. We done it quite a lot of those flowers, so it looks a bit like time-consuming process. And the tips are quite large. I think it's such a pretty and easy way to do them. Again, clean the brush, yellow ones. You could see there was a wee sticking out here, so I had to comb my brush. I would call it like combing the brush. No yellow ones. And the last one, there we are. Fantastic. Okay, now the next step is to grab some either old brush or a tiniest dotting tool you've got and some white to do the middle of the flowers. So I'm just using some brush, and what I'm going to do it is I will do couple dots in there, just like this. You could just leave it, the flowers the way they are. I'm just placing a little bit of white in there, so the flowers middles look slightly different. Oh, we've got the purple one. Okay, since this one is finished, we are going to sprinkle it. And cook it. This one is finished. So sprinkle and cook it. Very easy spring design. Again, cook it. And this is the last one. We just need to sprinkle it again. And then I can show you the final results. I think it's actually so awesome design for the upcoming weeks. And I have shown you the easiest way to do it. Okay, let me show you all what we have created, because until we don't clean the excess, it doesn't look nice. So that's the first one. Very pretty and simple design, like absolutely simple way. So let's place it here. To be honest, doesn't matter what we do on top of the ombre, everything always looks so pretty, because ombre is such a universal design. Another one. I actually love this one. Such a simple, like just 2 flowers on the side and that's it, like nothing over the top. Or maybe I even place it like here, and then the other one. And this one is such a pretty one too. I actually like the ones in the middles a lot. Really beautiful design. Yeah, you have to hit this share button for me, pretty please, so others can see it as well, how to do quite quickly and nicely the ombre gel polish. I'm sending you glittery hugs and bye for now.